Hello, hello. Hello and welcome to Pink Out 2023. My name is Amanda Nardiello and I'm a regional director with St. Mary's Hospital and Trinity Health. On behalf of St. Mary's Hospital Foundation Board of Directors, we are so thankful for Mayor O'Leary, his team, our community partners, for helping us with another successful Pink Out Waterbury. And while donations and t-shirt sales are still coming in, I'm proud to share that together we have already raised over $50,000 for women in our community. And with that, I'm pleased to introduce Kim Kalajanin, President of St. Mary's Hospital.
All right. Yeah, I did. I love it.
So good morning and good afternoon, whatever time of day it is, to all of you. Very honored to be here as part of St. Mary's Hospital. I know today is about breast care awareness, but I just would like a round of applause for Mayor O'Leary because he's getting closer to retirement with each day that passes, and he's been such a supporter of both St. Mary's Hospital and Waterbury Hospital here in this great city that we owe him a debt of gratitude. So just a round of applause for the mayor, please. So for those of you that may be new to Pink Out, the purpose is to raise funds and awareness for our breast screening program at St. Mary's Hospital. And I don't want any of the men to feel left out because as I've been educated by our outstanding breast surgeons, men also can get breast cancer. And so this screening program is available to all. And I want to just make sure we're clear on that. So all of the proceeds, 100% of our proceeds will assist the underinsured and the uninsured in this community to ensure that their essential breast screening, diagnostic, and medical procedures are covered. And annually at St. Mary's Hospital, our foundation and the funds that are raised through this annual campaign assist more than 160 patients. So it is very impactful in this community. Our mission here at St. Mary's Hospital is to serve the community. We want to be a healing and transforming entity in this community for all of the citizens here. And we really are very focused on this breast screening fund program and how it impacts all of the men and the women in this community. So please keep us in mind. If you know people that need these services, please help bring them forward. There are just a couple other people I wanted to introduce that are very important to St. Mary's, and they're here. They're in the midsection. Dr. Husnain Karmali, our Chief Medical Officer. And Shauna Edwards, our Chief Nursing Officer. They are St. Mary's top doc and top nurse, as I call them, and without them, the hospital could not operate. So I'm forever indebted to them for all of their great leadership. And speaking of great leadership, it's my now honor to turn over to Lieutenant Governor Susan Bysiewicz. So thank you.
Well, thank you so much and good morning, and what a pleasure it is to be with all of you on this beautiful fall day and look out and see all this amazing pink, and sir with the pink jacket, you take the cake. It is awesome to have a male ally in a position of power helping us out, so thank you so much. And I'm honored to be here at the Mayor's Pink Out program to help raise awareness. You know, the bad news is that breast cancer is one of the most common cancers diagnosed in women. And so it is the leading cause of cancer deaths in women. And this year, in 2023, it's expected that 430 women will die of breast cancer in Connecticut. Among Hispanic women, it is the most common cancer related deaths in Hispanic women. And also Black women in Connecticut are the most likely to die from breast cancer than women of other races. In the United States, 1 in 8 women will get breast cancer during their lifetime. And so that's why we're all here today. And this is personal for me too, because breast cancer has touched so many families. My sister Gail is a breast cancer survivor. My mom and my Aunt Ann had breast cancer. And so that's why I'm so committed to doing anything that I can to make sure that we have early detection available for everyone. And our state has been at the forefront of making sure that there is awareness and that there is access to life-saving detection tools like mammograms and ultrasounds. Connecticut was the first state in the country to require that mammogram providers notify women if they have dense breasts and make sure they get consultations with doctors. Too often, women don't get regular mammograms because they're afraid of the potential cost. So that's why we're here today. That's why so many people have contributed. And in 2019, we passed legislation in Connecticut requiring that health insurers cover ultrasound for women with dense breasts. So we are doing what we can at the state level, and our Department of Public Health has programs available so that women without insurance or who are uninsured can get access to mammograms. So thank you so much for what you're doing, because early detection saves lives. And please, to any women who are listening, who are 40 or over, please, please, please take the opportunity to get a mammogram. And thank you, Mayor O'Leary and Waterbury and team, for the great work that you are doing to make sure that all women have access to mammograms and early detection. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
So thank you, Lieutenant Governor Weisswitz. That was wonderful. It's now my complete honor to introduce 2 of our 3 fellowship-trained breast surgeons at St. Mary's. I want to just say the number 3 again, because what's better than 1 is 2, and what's better than 2 is 3, and we happen to have 3 fellowship-trained breast surgeons here at St. Mary's Hospital serving our community. So first I'd like to introduce Lisa Atterbury. Dr. Atterbury joined St. Mary's over the summer, and she's knocking our socks off, so come up here and say a few words.
Thank you very much. I don't know about knocking the socks off, but so for me it's an honor just to be here to see this town come together. I've worked in many different states, but to see a community come together for women that don't have insurance, that have GAP, is just impressive to all of you. So all of you should be applauded for that. For St. Mary's, Dr. Seeling's not here, so I'm going to speak a little bit about the program. We are 3 fellowship-trained breast surgical oncologists. It's very rare to have 3 fellowship-trained at a hospital system. So St. Mary's offers something that most hospital systems in the country don't offer, even from Stanford to Sloan, all of that. So you have the highest care at this facility. Not only that, we have now brought in the most advanced technology that some parts of the state, and so different ways of doing surgery, more advanced, better surgery, more accurate. We provide the same care that you can get at Penn, you can get at Stanford, you can get at UCLA, right here at St. Mary's, which is great for the community. And then having the ability to have individuals who are not getting their studies to bring them in to meet myself, Dr. Sukan, or Dr. Seeling. So, you know, you're right at the forefront. You don't need to go anywhere else. We're right here. We have all the capabilities, medical oncologists, radiation oncologists, genetics programs, a fabulous president who's super invested in this program of breast cancer, which has brought us together. So I'm happy to be here and whatever I can do to help.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Doctor.
And next up, I'd like to introduce Dr. Nicole Sukan, who has quite a few things to say about our community.
So I joined this community about 15 years ago, and I was amazed because, I did my residency in New York. And when I came to Waterbury, I said, wait a minute, this is so many different populations crammed into one beautiful city. And so our patient population is very diverse. We have women from African American population, Asian, Italians, it's amazing. And so what I wanted to bring to the forefront is that our women of color, our African American sisters, and our Albanian population as well, they get cancer at an earlier age, and their cancers are more aggressive. And also they die younger from their cancer. So we encourage women, no matter how busy your lives are, get your screening mammogram, because early detection saves lives. And at St. Mary's Hospital, we are so committed to taking care of our community. We have the early detection program, which is the grant program, as mentioned before, which covers the mammograms for uninsured women, and even women who have large co-pays with their insurance. And if a woman is unfortunate and gets diagnosed with breast cancer, even if she's uninsured, at the hospital, we provide full care for that patient. So as again, we're committed to taking care of our patients, and I'm happy to be here.
Thanks to both of our top docs in breast surgery. Thank you for being here and taking time. Next up to the podium, we'd like to introduce Darren Schwartz, who's the Waterbury Public School Deputy Superintendent.
Good morning, everyone. So I want to thank St. Mary's Hospital Trinity Health for organizing with us, the school system in the city of Waterbury, for such an important event. This is a big deal for the Waterbury Public Schools. The vast majority of those that we work with are women, and we stand with you through this time because it's important. Although we offer excellent health care in our system, we know we serve a lot of parents and a lot of loved ones that don't have the same care that we can access. And so we've organized in Waterbury Public Schools, we have philanthropy team leads at each school. And I want to thank Sydney Molina, who is really my right hand on this, to organize this work together for the city. With the philanthropy team leads and Sydney's work, the Waterbury Public Schools last year raised about $18,000, and I'm happy to say that this year alone, we've raised over $20,000 for this cause. Wow. And we have our amazing WAM students here, our 7th graders, who, with their help and the work of the staff at WAMS, was able to raise over $1,100 in their school alone. So thank you very much, WAM students and WAM's leadership for doing that. But even more impressive, because that was impressive in its own, I want to have Peyton come up here for a second. Peyton, come up here. Peyton Silva is a wonderful student at Rotella Elementary School. She's a 5th grader of ours. And Peyton, with her family, has also been touched by breast cancer. It has affected her family. It has affected my family. And when something affects you like that, you have more of a reason to go out there and get it, to go out there and help, to go out and advocate. And for being such a young, impressive, young lady that wasn't just going to sit back and maybe hand in the $1 or $2 for her school. No, she went door to door handing out bracelets. She went door to door hitting Ring cameras, and if no one answered, she left a message on the Ring camera saying, I'm leaving you a bracelet, even and if you want to give, you can give, but I'm leaving you one anyways. She raised $702 on her own. And to the point of the other speakers, this is a community event. This is us coming together, allies, men and women from the Waterbury Public Schools, students from the Waterbury Public Schools, because we know this affects our community. And we're going to do everything we can to continue to give those that don't have excellent health care the access to what they need so that they can be in our lives just a little bit longer. Thank you to the Waterbury Public Schools, and a special thanks to Peyton.
Thank you very much, Darren. And now we're going to hear from the man who needs no introduction, Mayor O'Leary.
Thank you. Thank you, President Kim. We like that. Congratulations. Thank you all for being here. A special shout out to Lieutenant Governor Bysowitz for making time in her extraordinary schedule to be here with us this morning. I had asked Susan several weeks ago if she could put this on our calendar, as this is such an important event in Waterbury. This is our third Pink Out Day, of course, with Trinity as our sponsor and impacting the lives of literally hundreds and hopefully thousands of women. The money raised through Peyton and the city employees and our Holy Cross partners and Dr. Pellegrino. It's just amazing to me how this community can come together. I also, when Susan Bysowitz last year spoke about her mom and her sister, who I happen to know and respect and work closely with, and her aunt, it just really was very touching for all of us here, especially me. We hadn't had cancer-related issues in our family, but this, in the last year, it's been a very trying, but also emotional year. So Maggie, my daughter Maggie, who's here with us today, her mom Dale was diagnosed 1 year ago today with a very rare form of cancer, not breast cancer, but a very rare form of cancer. And one of the things that struck us about the diagnosis was that it could have been detected earlier if we had paid a little more attention to it. But when you don't have cancer in your family, you don't pay attention to it as much. And the city, through Cigna, does offer a lot of screening each year. But it's a real challenge, and that's kind of why I'm taking a moment here. It's a real challenge to encourage all of our employees and all of our dependents on our healthcare system, which is 8,000 or so, to take advantage of what the city has to offer in the area of preventative screening. So we run about 15% a year. So we have a big initiative that's going to happen over the next 12 to 18 months with Cigna to get more of our employees into the pre-screening phase so that we could find out if there's something cooking inside our bodies before the symptoms become so obvious. And then, that was in October, a year ago today. And then in March, my wife Kathy came home with her mammogram report, and everything was great and didn't detect anything at all suspicious, but she does have dense breast tissue, and thanks to our next speaker, as you'll hear a moment, with his great work and his wife's great work, she knew that they couldn't rely alone on the mammogram report, so she went ahead to the next level. And I read the mammogram report, and of course you read that, right? You said, everything is good, nothing suspicious, everything is cool. Thank God that, she went to the next step and had the ultrasound, and all of a sudden the ultrasound report comes back and there's something suspicious. And then followed up by an MRI and then a biopsy. And unfortunately, that something suspicious was breast cancer. And had she not advocated for herself and worked through the to get the additional testing, because many people, even with breast dense tissue, take the mammogram report and say, okay, that's it. I mean, we've learned a lot about this since March and April. And, look, it's a good outcome, thank God, caught early. A couple of surgeries and radiation and follow-up treatment, and she's here, and she's feeling great, and we're proud. Which brings me to our next speaker, who is Mr. Joe Capello. And I do remember through the years, hearing about Nancy Capello, who lives in the area, and I do remember the phrase, and I love the phrase, "Are you dense?" I mean, it really is a catchy phrase, right? So I've used it, by the way, with nothing to do with breasts. But regardless, you know, when all of this came to be, and I was talking to his cousin, as you all know, who is Donna Palumba, and I was telling Donna about Kathy and talking about Nancy and Joe Capello, and she said, "You know, they're my cousins." And I said, "Of course they're your cousins." Because I did remember, after everybody in Waterbury is related, and then I did remember afterwards the Capello name and the Palumba tree. So without further ado, I'm going to call up Joe Capello because he's such a remarkable person, and he and his wife Nancy, who unfortunately succumbed to cancer-related death, made the difference in the lives of hundreds of thousands of women by pushing this dense breast tissue additional testing. And had it not been for the Capellos, I'm not sure how many people we could have and would have lost if not for this initiative. And it's so important here today, and I rarely talk about my own family, and I know that you all know that, but you know, the fact of the matter is, this is the proof that what we need to do to advocate and watch out for ourselves, but for our families and our children and our grandchildren. So come on up, Joe.
Thank you, Mayor. This is a perfect example, your story and your wife, of why we do what we do. Are you dense? It's a funny tag, but boy, is it serious. You have to know, women and men, if you are dense. Obviously, I've been called many times dense, but we know what we're here today for. We're here to shed light, and we're here to take and explain about breast density, about cancer, and what we can do to help those who are, less fortunate than who can afford screening and that type of thing. This is why Susan's here. We appreciate that so much. I'm going to pull out my notes here, and they're upside down. It's going to take longer. But it's great to be here for this. I'm very excited and very surprised that I was asked to come. Mayor, thank you so much. And I want you to know that there are 40%, it's a huge number, 40% of postmenopausal women have dense breasts. That's a big number. How many in this audience, women, know that you have dense breasts? You've been told. That's quite a few, thank God. Well, 20 years ago, no hands would have went up. No one knew about breast density, but what we did was we made it a factor, and the mayor explained what we did, and we went to Hartford, and we passed the first law in the country to have a woman be told that she's got dense breast tissue. And it's a disclosure statement. So with this information, you could go back, your doctor should tell you this because it's very important. And, but we were the first in the nation to, I can't believe that, really. It's hard to believe why someone else didn't think of it, right? But we know that we're saving hundreds of lives. And the mayor was correct, hundreds and thousands, and not only in Waterbury and Hartford and the state of Connecticut and New England, but around the world. We've affected countries like Japan who've changed their screening process because of Are You Dense? In Canada, they have a very active screening process in Canada, in France, and in Italy. And of course, you know, I had to go as a bodyguard for my wife because of those are important places to be a bodyguard from. France especially, and Italy. The food's great. But I'm just trying to give you an impact feel to what RU-Dents has done. I wanted to mention too, before I forgot, that St. Mary's Hospital has been a huge supporter of RU-Dents. They were our largest supporter at our event 2 weeks ago, and always continue to be on the right side of the issues. Plus, I was born there, so that's pretty cool. But my wife was diagnosed in 2004, and she was diagnosed with stage 3C breast cancer. It's a late stage. Now, people get breast cancer. It happens. But if you get breast cancer, you want to make sure that you catch it at its earliest stage, correct? Right? You want to catch it early. If you catch it early, early counts. Early means you don't have late stage, you got an early stage, which is treated differently than late stage cancer. I've become a cancer expert, not by choice, and in dense breast tissue, not by choice, believe me. We've come kicking and screaming to the table, but we find that it's worth it. It's not unusual, like I said, to have breast cancer. But there are tools such as ultrasound and MRI that could have caught my wife's cancer early, she was never even told she had dense breast tissue. Secondly, there was no real knowledge in how to attack it and screen for it. Ultrasound was great, but doctors didn't recommend it. It was actually not, it wasn't in the screen. It wasn't in the process. It wasn't part of the screening process. And it's the standard protocol now. Doc said, well, you'll never change the standard protocol. And we said, that's the one thing we're going to do. If we change the standard protocol, then you're going to find cancer early. Isn't that simple? It's so simple. Sometimes the simple things are the most powerful. So we have a standard protocol now that's changed. Now, 19 years ago, we started the RU-Dents, and we had a disclosure law. And really, you know what it's all about? It's about, and I say this all the time, it's about fulfilling needs. What my wife and I saw was a need, not only for our own family, and that's how we thought it would happen. We'd tell our family about breast density, and they would go talk to their physician, but all of a sudden it picked up this huge motion to get information out. We had people emailing us and calling us, and we want to do in our state what you're doing in Connecticut. And it was pretty exciting, actually. My wife was fighting for other people, and I think that's very, very important when you think about what you want to do in your life. In your life, you know, how many times do you think, well, I don't know what to do, I'm not that important. But I say this often, God has called all of us to fulfill needs of others, not ourselves. And in that purpose and in that process, you will find that it chases you. It'll find you. And you are able to have a fulfilled life. Now, when I want to touch just quickly on our law. We have obviously we had, if you read the information, 38 states with legislation, 38 states with dense breast tissue disclosure information. It's unheard of. And we not only had 38 states, but we also took our mission around the world, and we've also taken our mission to Washington. And as of this past year, the good folks in Washington had passed, the FDA passed, our national breast density law, which means it's a uniform law throughout all the states. There's no more we do this, you do that type of thing. Come September, the law will all be unison. And this is just a remarkable gift. It's a huge gift. Thank you. Thousands of people will benefit from this, hundreds of thousands. So I ask you a question, two questions. Is early important? Is it important? Early is mandatory, absolutely mandatory. You want to know early if you have breast cancer. And the other question you need to ask is, are you dense? Now, we know some people are. But for cancer, we need to know, are you dense? And it is so important. It's a matter, in closing, it's a matter of life and death. And it had been for our family. Just want to ask one question. Anybody here have cancer in their family? Raise your hand. Take a look around. Huge. We need to do something and fast. St. Mary's Hospital is doing something and fast. We get behind St. Mary's, they get behind us. They're a great organization to work with. So thank you today for inviting me, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, appreciate it very much. And God bless everyone.
Oh, gee, Lieutenant Governor.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Well, thank you, Joe. I just wanted you to come back up for 1 second. Before you do that, I do want to recognize the police department. Chief Spagnolo is here, fire chief as well, and his staff are here. Terry Ballou, Waterbury Public Schools, all of our great city employees who have embraced this pink out. Of course, the people in my office who have worked tirelessly on this, particularly Allie and Judy and Jen. So I hope our message resonates with you. I hope you all go home and talk about this tonight with your families and your children and maybe even your grandchildren and your siblings and your family members. It's really important. And you, city employees, the message, I want to make sure that you're clear. We do preventative screening each and every year. And please reach out to us and we will make sure that we put you in the queue for the preventative screening, which will take you all of about 7 minutes. Nothing intrusive. We take some samples from you. We check you out. More than likely, you're going to be fine. But every once in a while, we come across someone who's not, and we save their life. And that's really, really important. It's one of the reasons why we signed on with Cigna Healthcare, because Cigna Healthcare is in front of the curve in this area. And that's why the city of Waterbury switched over to Cigna back in 2013. Without further ado, I just want to present this plaque to Mr. Joseph Capello for his amazing speech today, but more importantly, for his commitment to honoring his wife Nancy and her ordeal and what she went through. And think about this, when this becomes a federal mandate in September, thanks to the work that started right here, we will save, through Joe's initiative, the lives of millions of women. Not hundreds of thousands, millions of women throughout not only the United States of America, but as you heard, globally. And that's the difference here, folks. And thank you, Mr. Capello. And this is a key to the city of Waterbury with our pink. Now, you only have till November 30th to use it in one of the doors. Thank you all, you guys. You're great. We love you. And thanks, of course, a special thanks to Trinity St. Mary's. You know, this is what it's all about here in this city, bringing people together. I look around, it's the same great people who show up, and the nonprofits and all the agencies and our our Waterbury Public Schools, our parochial schools. This is what matters here, folks, for all of us. So thank you all. God bless you. Thank you.
Just want to say one thing. I want to thank the mayor, and also want to tell you that my grandfather, Patsy, would be very happy that I got the key to his city.
That's right. He was the mayor. There you go.
I just want to give a quick thank you to our sponsors and for all of our partners here today. A special thanks to Allie and my team, Brenda and Whitney, and Jerry from Pony Express, who designed our t-shirt and who helped distribute it and is making a contribution towards this event. So thank you to you guys. And also to our key sponsors, Naugatuck Valley Radiology, Ion Bank, Thomaston Savings Bank, the Harold Lieber Cancer Center, Studio Q Architecture, Carpet Manufacturing, and Carbonate Torrance, Sendek, and Hennessy. Thank you so much. Do you want to close out?
I just wanted to ask everyone to come up front for a picture. And no one is camera shy today because this is for a really good cause. And so please come up and we'll take a big, great, big, huge photo.
Perfect.
Sound good?
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
All right, nice job. Good work. Come on up. Don't be shy. Come on, you guys. This is important. Hello, Margaret. Good? Okay, everybody. Then we can line up in front too. So Will, if we can coordinate it, you can coordinate on that side for us. That'd be great. We've got everybody coordinated on this side pretty well. Thank you. Come on in. How we doing, folks? All right, you ready? Smile, everybody. On the count of three, are you dense? 1, 2, 3. Are you dense? All right, thank you all. God bless you.